after coming close to missing a Monday deadline. It's now been confirmed that Greece sent a list of economic reform plans to European institutions and the IMF at around midnight. After weeks of wrangling, Athens has requested a 4-month extension to its bailout. In return, it's pledged not to roll back any ongoing or completed privatisations and ensure efforts to address a humanitarian crisis in the country does not hurt its budget. Our Athens correspondent Natalie Savarikas has more on this list of proposed reforms.
Interestingly enough, the Greek government here is presenting it very much as an achievement. Now they're saying they've managed to implement and include part of their pre-electoral manifesto, the so-called Thessaloniki program, into their proposals to the Eurogroup. They're firstly saying that they're seriously addressing the humanitarian crisis, that they're going to be able to hand out free electricity to the poor, food stipends, etc. They also want to aim to make the tax system fairer, fight tax evasion, corruption, all these very key points that, of course, have been pledged by previous governments as well. Remains to be seen, of course, how the Syriza-led coalition government will manage to be more successful, if you will.
Natalie Savarikas reporting there. And let's get some analysis now from our business editor, Stephen Carroll. Stephen, we have some official reaction now from Brussels. Your own Dijsselbloem has been speaking.
Yeah, that's right. The head of the Eurogroup speaking to the European Parliament. He's addressing questions from the Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee at the moment. Now, he did also address this issue of the deadline. Did or didn't the Greek government manage to make that deadline? He says the list of reforms arrived in his inbox at 11:15, so he got it well before that midnight deadline. Last night, the list of reforms. He's been quite measured about what he said about it. He said that they need to examine now to see whether it is this valid starting point for discussions. And he stressed again that this is simply a sort of wish list coming from the Greek government as to where they see their reform process happening. They'll still need plenty of more detail and plenty more examination of exactly what's in that list. That they'll be able to come up with a more structured plan by the end of April that will allow them this 4-month extension on their bailout loans. He did, however, say that there had been quite a lot of trust lost or put at risk since the elections in Greece. He said this list will go towards restoring some of that trust between Greece and its European partners. He said that it's not going to be easy. They're going to use the flexibility that he says always existed in Greece's bailout programme, which may be news to some other countries that have undergone bailouts in the past. He said there is flexibility. That's what they'll be using to allow Greece this breathing room that it wants to implement some of these reforms. He has stressed that it's not a new agreement. He said that it is simply just this list that's going to start discussions about where Greece can make those reforms. He said that it does indicate that Greece is very serious about reforming its economy. And he's also hinted that if this negotiation goes successfully, if Greece does what they're told, it could release these remaining bailout funds that are left in that fund. And that could open the way for discussion of further debt relief measures down the line. So perhaps some light at the end of the tunnel for Greece there. He's reiterated that a Greek exit from the Eurozone is not an option. And of course, we'll be expecting him to discuss that further with the Eurozone finance ministers when they hold a telephone conference later today.
OK, Stephen Carroll, thank you very much for the information there on movement there. But obviously the wrangling has taken its toll in Brussels. Stephen Carroll there, thank you for that.